Good evening, parents, faculty, and class of 2025. It is an absolute honor to stand up here today and share what I have learned throughout my years at St. Paul's. I'm not going to give you some cliche lesson about chasing your dreams, but I want to encourage you to reflect on what St. Paul's means to you. When I started St. Paul's 13 years ago, I used to cry before school every single day. It was so bad that Mr. Lester had to come out to my mom's car and carry me into class. Even 4 years ago, when we first entered high school, it felt like I was in the counselor's office every week, stressed out about something new. I was anxious about all the decisions that lay ahead of me and paralyzed by my fear of failure or not being accepted. Or sometimes I was just upset that I only got a 99 on Mr. Armstrong's test. I came into high school with this preconception that it was going to be all work and no fun, and I let that dictate my life for the first year of school. But St. Paul's had a funny way of reframing my mindset. It's hard to take yourself too seriously when you're playing song game in Mr. Armstrong's class, doing a modern performance of Oedipus Rex with Miss House, or dancing one of the many historical dances that you learn with Miss Albrecht. I realized slowly that school was not the problem. I was. I wasn't open to the cornucopia of possibilities that St. Paul's had to offer, to the hospitality of this class itself. Most of you likely know me as a runner, but this winter I dedicated myself to our swim and dive team in hopes of making it to state. After 3 weeks of practice and some mediocre performances, Mr. Kearns took a chance on our relay and sent us up to state with the rest of the year-round swimmers who had qualified themselves. At the meet, I was continually shocked by how at home I felt on a team that I had only been on for 4 weeks. Throughout the bus ride, competition itself, and downtime in between the meet, I felt welcome and a part of the team everywhere I went. And that's why our relay team performed well above expectations. The team took a chance on our relay, made us feel welcome and at home, and fostered an environment of success. And this is exactly what St. Paul's is for those who truly open themselves up to it. And when you open yourself up to what the school has to offer, it becomes much more than just a school. It's not a place where we as a class have been able to excel academically and athletically, but a home. A home that took me in when I was constantly anxious and miserable as a freshman. A home that has nurtured in us a passion for learning, and a home that has allowed us to fully take control over our own lives through the mentorships of our teachers. What makes it a home is not the walls of the man building or the property lines on campus, but it is you all, seniors, teachers, and students. St. Paul's has allowed me and the rest of the senior class to excel because of its community. It is precisely the things, such as singing with Mr. Armstrong, acting with Miss House, and dancing with Miss Albrecht, that make this place so special. The things that remind you how important it is to have fun while learning and not take yourself too seriously. And while it's so easy to disregard these things in fear of embarrassment, opening yourself up to them allows you to experience all that St. Paul's has to offer. And while my way of opening up to this school was slow, each step forward only made the next one easier. My only request for you is that you don't make the same mistake I did. Whether you're a senior headed off to college or staying home, or if you're just a student going into yet another year at St. Paul's, don't wait to fully experience what your path in life has to offer. You cannot let worry or indecision take away the precious moments of life wherever you find yourself. So as I stand here as a student of St. Paul's for the final time, I want to say thank you. Thank you to my parents for all the hard work that it took to get me here. I know the school likes to call me Mr. Perfect, but just ask my parents and they'll be quick to tell you how far from it I am. From fights with my brothers to constantly losing things, they've put up with me when it seemed impossible. Thank you, Philip, William, and John, for setting a stellar example while pushing me in the classroom and on the track. And thank you to all of the teachers, coaches, and other faculty members that have made St. Paul's so special for me and the rest of the class of 2025. You are the reason we all have such a hard time leaving this campus. And I want to end the speech the same way composer Johann Sebastian Bach used to end all his compositions, with the reminder, Soli Deo Gloria, or to God alone be the glory. All of the countless academic and athletic achievements of this class mean nothing without faith and love. And I encourage you all to keep that as your anchor as you head into college. So goodbye, St. Paul's. And as we each go out into the world, remember to not let fear make you miss out on what life has to offer. Thank you.